Hey guys, Ken and Gina here from OK Portugal.
We've got a bit of a project today that we've been waiting for a while to get started on.
Yeah, it's going to be happening on that side of the farm, just over there.
These are our free-ranging chickens. They used to have access to the whole farm, and then when we got the internal fence put up, they're stuck in this area.
So the fence behind me was put up because of this guy. This is Edmundo the Serra da Estrela. He's a livestock guardian dog. He's a lovely, lovely boy, but he does love to roam. So we had to put this fence up. He's got a nice big space. It's about 1,000 square meters of garden, but that's meant that the chickens are also stuck in this little space. Oh, he's pushing me over.
The chickens used to forage far around the farm, and since they've been in this little bit, they seem to love spending time with us, which means they just show their love by pooping all over the patio.
Now, obviously, this isn't the ideal situation where you've got literally chicken poo all over your patio. So it's pretty gross. Chicken poo all over the front doorstep. This is kind of a new thing. It's only happened since we really had this fence put up.
Yeah.
And enough is enough.
Yeah, we need to lock them away because we have certain doggies who like to eat chicken poo as well, which is
It's
gross.
disgusting, yeah. And it's full of like salmonella and E. coli and all sorts of stuff, and it's absolutely gross.
But anyway, we're going to lock them up, but they are going to be allowed outside for exercise rights and to eat bugs.
So you mean I can't build chicken Alcatraz?
No,
Ah.
they're going to be allowed out for like a little bit of the day because they only tend to sit like on the doorstep and on the patio in the afternoon. So
Yeah.
first thing in the morning, they can go out and eat all the bugs.
First thing in the morning they come out and they start, well, they're obviously very hungry, so that's when they're going to do most of like the bug collecting and all of that. And then in the afternoon, once they've eaten and they're all fat, then they just sit in our doorstep and they crap. So
Yeah,
that's what we want to stop.
that's when they go into Alcatraz.
And yeah, chicken Alcatraz. This week's vlog is sponsored by the Woodworkers Guild of America. If you've ever wanted to improve your woodworking skills, get expert tips or find inspiration for your next project, this could be the perfect resource for you. Now, the special offer is valid for new members only, so if you haven't joined yet, this could be your chance. It's an online resource packed with high-quality instructional videos, woodworking ideas, and expert guidance to help you create something truly unique with your own hands. And whether you're a beginner like me or a seasoned pro, the Woodworkers Guild of America has something for you. Now, I've been exploring the Woodworkers Guild of America website, and it's been a real game changer. Some of the premium content that I've found super helpful includes step-by-step guides on building functional furniture, expert-led tutorials on advanced woodworking techniques, creative project ideas that can be adapted for different skill levels, and tool reviews and maintenance tips to help keep your gear in top shape. The one thing I really appreciate is how expert instructors break down everything so clearly. Whether it's mastering joinery, improving finishing techniques, or getting comfortable with power tools, the lessons are easy to follow and super informative. Beyond their instructional content, the Woodworkers Guild of America also offers live streaming tutorials and Q&A sessions where experts engage with the community, answer questions, and provide real-time woodworking advice. Plus, you can connect with fellow woodworkers, share your ideas, and get inspired too. Now, here is the best part. The first 1,000 of my subscribers who click on the link in the video description below are going to get a full year of premium membership for only $1.49. That's an incredible deal to access tons of professional woodworking content. So if you're ready to level up your woodworking game, hit that link below and start learning with the Woodworkers Guild of America today. So this morning when I woke up, you weren't here, you were at gym already.
Yeah.
And I went outside and it was all like foggy and misty. It was actually quite beautiful. So I got the drone. I flew around a little bit. I couldn't fly too far because obviously I have to keep line of sight on the drone, but I got some pretty cool footage. And as the clouds started to clear, I actually got where the clouds were parting and you could kind of see the sun poking through. It was really, really stunning.
Oh, see, it was the opposite way around when I woke up. It was sunny, and
Yeah.
then I drove through the fog
Okay.
into Fundale.
And now it looks like the sun is coming out now. But when I say now, it's actually 4 p.m. and
We haven't even got started.
it's quite
yet.
late and we haven't even got started. It's been a really slow day for us. So I think it's time for us to get stuck in with this little project.
Well, we've got 2 hours before sundown.
Yeah,
Let's go.
let's go. Chicken house over here. We're going to build a fence starting from about there. It's going to come out to about here. It's going to go back into that corner over there. And then it's going to come all the way back in that direction on the other side, just near that door there, around about there. And as you can see, it's pretty much rocket science. You've got to be incredibly talented to do something like this. This is about as far as my woodworking skills go at this point.
You can see how good and often we do things like how brand new our gloves are.
Yeah. No, we just got these gloves because these wooden poles, they're full of splinters. So yeah, gloves are a must. So I look like Mickey Mouse now, or Michael Jackson, something like that. But so we've got 2 wooden posts and they're full of splinters, but these are the kind of things that we use for sheep fencing. I'm going to be putting one on the ground here. I'm going to be taking another one and I'm going to be digging that into the ground sideways, and it's going to basically be screwed to this one over here, giving it strength. And that's the plan. And on this side over here, I've left a bit of a gap because what I want to do is make a doorway. So obviously we can enter and we can get into the chicken house and into the run. And also the reason I'm doing that is because I can't actually put this post against the wall because there's a whole bunch of stones and concrete in the ground here. So yeah, it's kind of an easy way of doing it. So this is a post hammer. It's a big heavy object with a hole in the bottom, slides on top of the post, and you lift it up, you slam it down, and yeah, the post goes in the ground. Very effective. I was expecting it to be a bit more difficult than that. It's actually the best time of year to be doing this. The ground is nice and soft, and these are going in really well, and the ground is closing around the poles nicely as well. Try doing this in the summer, it's almost impossible. Right, there's going to be lots of heavy breathing into the microphone because it's quite difficult. Now, you're probably wondering why the fence is higher than the pole, and that's because we screwed up. No, we kind of knew. I just didn't want to get 6-foot poles because underneath the ground here, we do actually have some bedrock, so the poles can't go that deep. So I think I'm going to push the poles in a little bit further. They're going to be in the ground about 30 centimeters. If I can bring this down to about there, and we'll just cut the rest of the fence off.
Well, are we not going to try and do like a flap bit over the top so the chickens don't jump on top of it?
We can have a look.
See what it looks like.
Yeah, if it looks horrible, then we'll, yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay, cool. Now, because we're using quite rigid fencing, we're not using the soft, saggy sort of sheep fencing, I might actually be able to get away with no corner braces because these poles are quite stuck in the ground. It's not perfect, but I can always add those braces on later if I need to. I had this accident about 2 years ago where I was hammering in a post and it was really high up, and when I brought the post down, it hit the top and came down on my head and basically crushed the vertebrae in my neck. I had absolutely no idea that I had an issue in my neck until I went to the doctors. I had kidney stones. They did an x-ray for the kidney stones and said, we couldn't find any kidney stones, but did you know that you got 3 crushed vertebrae in your neck? So I had no idea. It was so painful. I basically brought this thing down with all of my weight and slammed my head into it at the same time and just crushed everything. And I remember as soon as it happened, Gina was standing there and I immediately fell on the ground, and I was just lying on the ground holding my neck going, I've really done something bad here. But yeah, I crushed my neck. It's really not major measurements or anything. I'm kind of just using this as a rough guide. And after crushing my neck, I'm a lot more careful with this thing. That'll do. Okay, so this is going to be another doorway. So we're going to have a little door here. We're going to have another door on the other side. That means that this room over here where we've got the lawnmower, I can just basically get it out the room. Get in here, cut the grass if I have to, and the doggies can get in and out. And obviously when the chickens get let out, when Gina lets them out, then we can have 2 little doorways where they can get in and out. It's nothing quite like getting hammered. I prefer it to come from beer though. Oh, I'm glad these are going in. I was worried that we were going to hit that bedrock. A little bit to go. Spot on. So far it's a lot of sticking poles in the ground. That's pretty much all there is to it. See this chickens? Chicken Alcatraz. It's being built, especially for you. Now it may look like a smallish area. It's about 30 square meters, but it's not actually that small because they've also got this huge chicken house which is behind the camera over here that has tons of space, and we're going to be putting lots of straw down on the ground and lots of perches in. I'm out of breath. Perches for them to purchase on. Hello Mimo. Oh, I'm out of breath.
Chicken poo breath.
Yeah, and that's going to come to an end soon, hopefully. It is very, very disgusting. And I think that's why this dog's getting so fat, because we don't feed her nearly as much as Eddie, and she's just getting wider and wider because she loves eating all the chicken poos. Disgusting. Disgusting, Mimo. Disgusting. Sounds like I've hit, yeah. Our house is built on a big piece of granite, and I think that must be what it is. I don't think I went in any deeper. I think I just flattened the point. Cool.
Cool. I'm gonna. How many posts you got left to put in?
2 uprights and then maybe some sideways ones.
All right. I'm gonna leave you to do that because I need to
Walk the doggies.
Oh, we weren't gonna say it
Walk the doggies? We're going to go for a walk. Come here.
because it's that time of day.
Let's go for a walk. Oh, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk.
Because they know they have that, and then they have,
Yeah.
so they know.
Din-dins.
That time of day.
Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
All right. Bye.
Ciao. So while Gina goes for a walk, I'm going to try and finish those poles off. We've been keeping backyard chickens for 5 years. Yeah, it's been about 5 years, since 2020. And yeah, there's a couple of things about chickens that I didn't actually know. For starters, you get 2 differences between them. You get egg-laying breeds, which is like the little brown ones over here, and also these little sort of speckledy ones. Those are egg-laying breeds. And then you get larger breeds. If you can see the big rooster in the background, that's Rui Rooster, and he's a Brahma. He's like a multi-purpose bird, but he's kind of like a meat bird. And there's actually a big difference. If you try and eat an egg-laying bird, there's just absolutely nothing on them. When you pluck them, they've got no meat on their breast, and there's just nothing to them. But they do lay a lot of eggs. A little brown hen like that lays about 350 eggs per year, so it's almost 1 egg every single day. Whereas a Brahma, a meat bird, they're not going to lay as many. They're going to lay sort of 100 a year or something like that. So it's quite a big difference. And you may be thinking, wow, chickens, you've got free eggs. Well, they're not free. You've actually got to feed these guys a lot. They eat tons and tons and tons of food. As you can see, they eat grass, they eat plants, they eat meat. Believe it or not, they will actually eat red meat. They'll eat bugs. And more importantly, they'll get rid of things like centipedes and stuff like that from around the farm. Our food bill is quite high. We've got to buy lots of seeds. As you can see, look at these chickens. They go crazy for it. Here you go, chickies. Buck, buck, buck. And they eat tons and tons of that stuff every single day. And yeah, it costs more than the eggs do. So if you're thinking that you're getting free eggs, you most certainly aren't. But I have to say, the eggs that you get from backyard chickens like this are way better than anything that you're going to buy in a shop. So it does actually make it worth it. And there are ways that you can bring down your chicken food bill by feeding them scraps from the table. Now, in the EU, you are actually allowed to do that. But in places like the UK, it's actually illegal to feed scraps off your table, which I find quite ridiculous. Apparently, it's because you can transmit diseases from other animals if you're giving them things like dairy or meat or something like that. But in Europe, in Europe, you don't have to worry about that, but you're just not allowed to feed them dairy or meat products, apparently. Okay, so I've positioned the poles roughly in place. This is the lovely thing about working with fencing and stuff, is you don't have to be 100%. We are on a farm, and it is quite nice to have things a little bit, a little bit rough and ready. So I just have to hammer them in. All right, this one's going to be a bit tricky. It's inside the bush. Let's do this. I'm going to have sore stuff. Things are going to be sore tomorrow. This isn't me. I'm not DIY man. I've never really been into making videos where it's like, oh, look at me, I'm working hard and everyone can clap. It's not my vibe. But today, I definitely wanted to film this. This has been something that I've been speaking about for a while, that I was going to do this. And so, here I am. Sorry about all the heavy breathing. Now the chickens are going to have quite a nice little run. They're going to have this whole space and where you can see the poles. They're also going to have shade off this big orange tree. This orange tree is amazing. It has so many oranges. We've had 2 wheelbarrows full that were lying on the ground that I had to throw away, which is a real shame because they went all moldy. And then obviously every day we take oranges off the tree and we make orange juice and we eat oranges. But even like that, we just can't get through them. There's already a whole bunch more inside this tree, deep in the tree. There's wheelbarrow loads full. It's amazing. Mime, was that a nice walk, my girl? Eddie. Yeah. Eddie loves burying his head right in your crutch. Disgusting. You're a disgusting dog. Yeah.
Eddie caught a mouse, a live mouse,
Ah.
and then he just laid down with it and it was running round, and then it ran off underneath him and underneath all his fur, and then Mimosa picked it out the other side and dispatched it.
Yeah.
And then...
I like mice. I don't like rats. I mean, I like rats, as in rats are quite sweet creatures until you have to live with them and they're in your space and they're weeing and peeing on everything you have. Mice, though, that live in the field, I don't have anything against them, you know.
I know, but it must have just run out in front of Eddie, because Eddie's not the brightest tool in the box.
No,
so
no.
Just like, all of a sudden he just came up with this little, like tiny little baby mouse in his mouth.
No,
Mouse in his mouth.
Did it have one of those long bendy noses like a shrew? Or okay, so it was a proper little field mouse.
Yeah, just a little mouse.
Yeah.
But Mimosa ate it.
Nice, tasty.
Probably like a pre-hors d'oeuvre for her dinner.
It's like a little lozenge that just pops in your mouth and you get that nice, like, juicy mouse flavour.
That's how Dog used to eat it. He used to pop them, whereas Eddie just, I think she drowns it in her spit.
Do we have to censor this part from the video, or do you think we just gross everyone out?
I think we just gross everyone out.
Yeah, yeah.
The joys of having livestock and dogs and
Poo everywhere.
and poo and
Stuff.
Yeah, it's a pooey, salivary episode.
Yeah. So Gina's got some eggies today. Oh, we've only got 4 eggs today.
Oh no, I've just dropped one, so
So we got 5.
yeah.
Yeah, Gina likes to feed some of the eggs back to the chickens. If you do that, it's always a good idea to make sure you smash them up properly so they don't recognise the shape of an egg, or they could start eating their own eggs.
Yeah, they've never eaten their eggs because it's always ones I've dropped or purposely broken for them.
Yeah. But also another thing worth pointing out is that in winter, when it's super cold, you don't get... Oh, well, what's going on there? They're getting up on the roost. When it's super cold, they don't lay nearly as many eggs as they do when it's nice and warm, or the spring or something like that.
No, we get on average between 4 and 6 out of the 8 hens every day during the
4 and
winter.
6. Oh, I swear we've gotten more than that before,
Yeah,
but yeah.
in the summer we do.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, you're talking about the winter, yeah. Yeah, so not bad going for 2 people. Good stuff. So originally I was going to do that. Get like this post in the ground here so that it gives it some support. But these posts are so firmly in the ground that I don't actually need that. And we're using quite rigid fencing as well. So the fence doesn't have to be pulled tight. It is already quite tight when you hammer it onto the fence line. So instead of that, I'm going to rather have some more support going in the center. Spring is on the way soon. I cannot wait. As you can see, I'm already wearing a t-shirt outside, but it is quite chilly first thing in the morning, and obviously at night time it gets really cold. But yeah, a couple of weeks time it's going to get hot. Spring's going to arrive. I'm going to be in shorts and a t-shirt, shorts and a vest, wearing flip-flops, sandals, and I can't wait. It's my favorite time of year. It's the last of the posts, I hope. It's 5 o'clock. 1 hour of post hammering. I'm sure I could have done more posts. How many posts are there? I don't even know. But yeah, for someone that doesn't do this very often, it's quite knackering. Right, so as we can see, we've got the post in the ground, and we've got a little smiley doggy, and we've got a not so smiley, oh there we go. And we've got a smiley Gina, a smiley doggy, a dirty glove, a dirty doggy mouth, stinky dog, yes. She's actually not a stinky dog. Neither of our dogs actually stink. But every once in a while the breath can be a little bit potent if they've just had some chicken poo. Oh yes. Don't lick the camera, my boy. Okay, so we've got this fencing. Should we open it up and roll it out and see what happens? Oh, sorry, Mimo. Did you get a frap, my girl? Now, not many people actually know this, but plastic and stuff like that is actually very good fertilizer for your garden. It's very good for the environment. Gardening tips 101.
It's not true, by the way. Just for those that are going to write in and go, that's
Yeah,
not
please write in and tell me your thoughts.
Why am I making this so difficult for myself?
Oh, I'm just grabbing the end and twisting.
Oh.
So let's start on that side over there, and we roll it around, and it can't be that complicated.
I'm sure we could make it.
It can't be that complicated.
It's not computers,
Yeah.
knitting or art.
Yeah, if it's not,
make it really complicated.
yeah, if it's not electronics, then I don't have a clue. Okay, so it's not perfect. you know, not 100% perfect. I mean, if you get an electron microscope, you might see that I'm a few atoms out just on this side. Should we start the fence here and bring it across? No. Or should we start the fence here so that we've got a little bit of a flappy bit?
I think you get the flappy bit going.
Because we're going to do a flappy bit, not because they're chickens and they flap, but because if we build a wooden gate, they will jump on top of the wood and perch, and then they will jump over. So you have to have something that they can't really see very well, like this, and then they won't land on it and jump over. Hopefully. Let's see. There. That's a flappy bit in a bit, or do you want more of a bit?
No, that'll do.
Will that do? Is that up?
That's flappy enough.
Hey, is that up to your standards, Gina? You've got to make sure that you're up to Gina's standards. This is the thing I've learned in 21 years. I mean, obviously, if you take the fact that she has me as a boyfriend, she has very low standards. But, you know, she does have standards. It's weird. I used a plumb line, and yet it still doesn't look that straight.
No, I don't think it's not straight. I think that's just unravelling weird.
Okay. So you're saying that I am actually like the world's best at this type of stuff?
No.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. Gina's now going to give a tutorial on how to hammer in a piece of, what is it? Nail into a piece of wood without breaking your thumb.
Pick up a piece of metal, hammer it, and don't hit your hum.
Hum. Don't hum your thumb. Right. The first thing you want to do is make sure that your little nails are on the right side of the fence. I'm sure there's lots of people who are watching this who are like full-on DIY, I built my own house guys, and they're going to be watching Ken here going like, what on earth are you doing? But I'd like to see you edit a video and fix a computer just as well as me. And without those skills, this channel wouldn't even exist. So, you know, it all kind of has its place. Well, there we go. I'm about to hit this into the palm of my hand. Excellent. That'll do.
Health and safety 101.
Exactly. Right, I'm just going to put one there, basic job. We're going to stretch it, and yeah, we're running out of time. We've got 40 minutes until sunset.
Oh, better get a move on.
Let's walk this round.
Ow, tree. I wonder if Eddie's going to run into this again, like he's going to forget it's here.
He might do, huh? The first time that we put up the big fence, Eddie came crashing into it in the middle of the night.
At full speed.
Yeah, I made this howl. He really hurt himself. I feel really bad for him. Cool, so it's not looking too bad. We haven't tacked anything on yet. We've just basically run it up against the poles. I'm going to go around this side. I'm going to tack on the next corner, and then the next corner, and the next corner, and then after that we'll go and tidy everything up. But essentially, this big space is going to be for the chickens. And obviously it's not as big as what they used to have before. But in all honesty, they were just staying around this area anyway and just eating seeds. Lazy chickens.
But we will let them out. I'm going to let them out in the morning to free roam.
Yeah.
And then just shut them in late morning.
The morning is when they get most of their eating in anyway. And then in the afternoon, they're just all fat and lazy and they just sit right outside our front door. So yeah, we will let them out in the beginning. And then as soon as one of them makes the slightest little poo, they're going back into Alcatraz. No, I'm joking, no. They poo constantly. That's another thing about chickens. They constantly crap. And when you see these pages on Instagram and they got these little chickens on their beds and on their laps and stuff, those are the good times. The bad times they don't show you when the chicken's constantly pooing all over you. It's true, I promise. You know, one of my things that I used to love doing when I was younger was aquariums, fish tanks. I never really did marine, but I used to do tropical fish from South America and keep like really big, like monster fish. And if I was building something like that, like building a huge monster fish tank and stocking it with, you know, with fish and stuff, I'd be in my element. This, I'm completely out of my element. I know there's going to be people at home that are going to be writing all sorts of comments about, you've done this wrong and whatever, you know.
Are you like a fish out of water?
I'm like a fish out of water.
You're like a fencer out of fencing.
Exactly. Offensive. Don't write anything offensive about my fence. Okay, I'm glad Gina's got the camera on the other side there, because a nail's definitely not supposed to go in sideways like that. That'll do. Ow!
Remember your hammer safety.
It's hammer time. No. What is hammer safety, Gina? Don't put your thumb in the way.
Well, don't do it when you're in ICT.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, building a fence is about the only thing that I'm comfortable doing, really. But I am up for learning more skills and things. But, you know, when it comes to mission critical stuff, I prefer to get a professional to do a proper job. So if I needed a new front door and I was going to build it out of wood, I'm not going to build that front door because I'm going to use that front door multiple times every single day. And if I get it wrong, it's going to annoy the crap out of me. So, but for something like this, I don't mind giving it a go. Jean is different though. She's like, no, just give it a go.
Yeah, I like to try lots of new things.
Yeah.
That's why.
But not new food.
No, I've been trying new food. I didn't eat sushi until like 5 years ago.
Well, exactly. It's taken a while.
Yeah.
That'll do. That'll do.
Don't eat chickens.
Try and get out of there, chickens. Try and get out of there. It's like an upside down hammer swing. I'm not sure you're supposed to hit with a hammer like that, but this is what I'm doing and it seems to be working.
New technique.
I'm reinventing the wheel. Now this pole definitely isn't straight. But you know, it is 2025. The pole's allowed to not be straight if the pole doesn't want to be straight.
Is the pole not straight or is it just not in the ground straight? I mean, is the pole wonky?
Well, I think there's a mixture of two things going on here. I think there's the expertise of the man with the hammer, then there's the pole itself, and then there's just like, you know, the universe. Sorry, that's three things. It's not looking too bad. It's kind of all right. And you know, it will blend in with nature. It is obviously going way above these poles, but I couldn't get taller poles. If I did, we'd never get them deep enough in the ground because of that bedrock. And well, we'll make a little bit of a plan later. Gina reckons we just, well, you'll see later. We're on the last one, thankfully. I'm getting bored of this now. What is it? We got 19 minutes until sunset. Oh, look, the sun is actually setting. Oh, yeah. I probably should have untied that before, but anyway, it's all right. Doggies, what am I doing? What am I doing, doggies? Why does your breath smell like chicken poo?
Not for long.
Why is it so disgusting? No, don't do it. Don't lick me in the face. No.
The mouse.
Go away. No. No. Mimo.
Mouse, come here.
Mic drop. I think we're nearly there. We've got it all tacked onto the fence line and hopefully it looks all right on the camera. I have no idea. It looks all right in real life. I have to get rid of this plumb line string and then we're going to make a plan with this excess. And yeah, it's quite a nice big space for the chickens. So I'm glad I got that done before the sunset. Speaking of sunsets, we normally get these incredible ones just down here. In the summertime, the sun actually moves more in this direction and this whole sky just gets lit up. And it's so beautiful. I've got a very mild one today, but it is beautiful nonetheless. It is a new day, a glorious new day.
Wow, that's bright. I don't know if it's glorious.
Yeah, it's cloudy. It's going to start raining soon, so we better get this like show on the road. We've got a pole. We've got some flappy wire. We have a noisy chicken. And the idea is we're going to basically put the pole like this, attach the wire to the pole, and we're going to have some kind of a wire, what do you want to call that, a loop? A wire loop that goes over the top, holds it in place, keeps it nice and tight. Now because this pole isn't going into the ground and it's going to be above the ground, I have to cut it a little bit shorter. This is quite blunt. We used it for all the olive trees. That's all right. Yeah, that'll do. And once it's down a little bit, you need a little bit of gap for the loop. So I screwed up. I cut this too short. I measured it against here and thought that I'd have enough space for the metal loop to go over it. Unfortunately, the ground goes down a bit. And so, yeah, this ends up being exactly the same height as that. No space for a loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a really long pole. And then we won't have any issues whatsoever because obviously the long pole sticks out above. If we decide to keep the fence at this height, this works. If we decide to take the fence down, it works. So I think we just have a long pole and that's it. End of story. The idea is this post goes against the wall with the fence attached to it, and we have this little hoop that goes over and keeps it in place. This is a lithium battery pack that I was given a couple of years ago, probably what, like 3 years ago or something, by a company called FJ Dynamics, the guys that made my robotic lawnmower. This is actually where our relationship started, and I've been using this all over the place. It's absolutely awesome. It's called the, I'm not sure, like the MP2000 or something, but yeah, it's a real game changer. It helps me a lot when I'm doing stuff like this, because I can plug in drills and tools and things. And this is an absolutely terrible drill. You definitely don't want something like this. It costs about 20 bucks, it's plastic, and it doesn't really work very well. It's very slow. Is that it? Wow, okay. And it's going backwards. Ah, there we go. Right, so the wall plugs in the wall. The idea is we kind of screw this in with this, and then we kind of wrap the wire around it so that we can make the little loop. It's basic. So I think we need something like that, and then something like that. Following what I've seen over all of the other farms, it's like Portuguese engineering at its finest. I mean, I probably could have made that a little bit neater, but I like it. It's got character. Why is that too high now? Am I holding the wrong pole, or what's going on here? I mean, I suppose that'll work. Look, it goes down.
Yeah,
and then you flap it up.
Are gonna take that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be very impressed if they do. So I think it's raining for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Voila! That'll do. So now we have a door, and it's the most beautiful door I've ever seen in my life. It's the best door ever.
It works.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be pretty.
Right, we've got this side, and we're going to make another door. I'm just going to cut this a bit longer, probably there, and attach a pole and do pretty much the same thing. So the weather's closing in on us. It's going to start raining, and I don't want to have this battery outside and power tools and stuff. So hopefully I can get done in time. This is not the kind of weather you think when you think of Portugal, but yeah, Portugal can get cold, and it can get like this, especially in winter. But then soon it's going to get like super hot. Super hot, 40 degrees plus. Amazing stuff. Okay, so this is the next loop. This is the shorter piece of wood. Okay, so that loop does actually work if I go to about there. These are, oh, there we go. I was going to say, these aren't actually for cutting thick wire. They're more for electronics, for stripping electrical wire. There we go. And then let's screw this in.
Super cold.
It's cold, yeah. I'm wearing a t-shirt, but...
I can't believe you're wearing a t-shirt.
Well, because I'm moving and picking things up, and so I'm not really feeling it. So that doesn't look too bad, huh? That is all right. And then we'll have the pole, obviously with the fence attached. And it'll go like so. You lift it up, put it down, and there we go. Keeps it in place. And we can actually tighten this up by squeezing in it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that yet. Let's do this. I wish I had the other snips. They're so much better than these ones for cutting wire.
Well, I think they're in the rat-infested shed.
Yeah, that's going to be the next challenge, is we've got to get those rats. And now I'm just going to get the last tacks or nails onto these, or onto this piece of wood, and then we'll have a basic door just in time for the rain. I hope. That's perfect. This piece of wood is slightly too short. I would have wanted it to go above the fence line. We're still not sure exactly what we're doing with this fence line. If you look over here on this side, it obviously goes above. I'm thinking that we cut it to the level of these. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this piece so that this wire can go through. So I'm just going to cut, and now the wire can go through. This is just a temporary fix, and There's a little door. Chicken Alcatraz is coming along nicely. But even as Alcatraz, it needs to be comfortable. So we're going to put lots of new straw all over the ground, and we're going to tidy this up a little bit for these chicks. Here's your scissors. This will help mop up all of their poos and stuff, because obviously now that they're going to be concentrated into this area, there's going to be a lot more poop happening in here. It's going to be poop in the coop. But when you put this down, the poos are going to compost in here, and then we can take out the straw with all the poo, and it'll make nice compost. I think for Fernanda wants you. So Joaquin's wife, Fernanda, she's just come to the fence line back there. I think she's brought the sheep, and she wants to speak to Gina. What's going on, chickens? Is this all very exciting? It's all very exciting, chickens. You've got a new house. So I think Fernanda, I think she wants eggs. The last time she got some eggs from us, some fertilized eggs, so that she could hatch some chickens. So I believe that's what she's going to be asking Gina for now. All right, chickens. Lots and lots of hay and straw all over the place. Loads of bedding and nesting material. You're going to be the happiest chickens in the whole of central Portugal. So Fernanda wants eggs.
Yeah, she wants eggs that she can make into chickens, because we have big chickens. And she wants, so they can't have been in the fridge. Although I feel like it's as cold as in the fridge outside today. But
yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, but she wants fresh ones that have been laid. So I said I can do 4 today and 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, that's easy. We've got 2 hens laying right now.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm feeling spots of rain, so it's time to wrap this up. So, chicken prison. All that's left to do is we need to cut the wire down to that length going around. But that's not going to happen today because Gina wants to keep it long. But we'll see. And then it goes around. As you can see, we've made a little doorway that's currently open. All of the chickens are in here. They're actually staying in here out of their own will. So I think they're quite happy with their new digs. And then inside, we just chucked a whole bunch of straw all over the ground. Nice fresh straw for them. And they got spaces where they can lay. I didn't put some straw in here because we've already got 2 of the girls busy laying in there right now, giving us some nice eggies. And yeah, and then we have their little roosting spot, which is just around the corner. And of course we have the bars on the windows, to protect the world from the dangerous chickens. And that is how and why we built Chicken Alcatraz.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I think it's going to work well. It's going to keep poop off our stoop, poop off the stoop.
Yeah.
And yeah, it should work well.
And it's cold and I want to go inside.
Yeah, I want to go in as well.
It's freezing.
Yeah. So anyway, join us next week. I've got some more stuff that we're going to be doing. Some stuff and things. So if you want to see stuff and things,
yeah.
Join us next week. Ciao.
Bye.